Dear viewer, good evening and welcome to Current Issue. With me tonight, the manager of multicultural outreach in a good company of DTE, Donna William. Donna, welcome to MEA.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you. Honestly, DTE involved with the community, not just the Middle Eastern community, and I attend a lot of events for the Asian, African American, Latino and all that. And DTE is sponsoring a lot of events. They are there to talk to the community and see what issue concern the community.
Yeah.
Tell us about your diversity, your involvement with those all ethnic minority, but concentrate a little bit heavy in the Middle Eastern community.
Of course, of course. So DTE is different than other corporations here in Southeast Michigan because truly everyone is our customer. And so our outreach activities, we feel, should reflect the diversity of our customer base.
Absolutely.
And we want to get to people in their own comfort zones. We want to get to people in their own culture so that we're learning about them in a way that they can learn about us as well. That's mutually beneficial.
As I see the Middle Eastern community and probably the other community too, they are the residential and they are the business, customer.
Yes.
So, and I know you do with organization, which is covering everything, but what do you do to the business? And a lot of business, Middle Eastern have over 10,000 businesses in Tri-County area.
Absolutely.
Alone,
Yeah.
So what's your relation with them? How you keep in touch with them and how you serve them?
Yeah. So within DTE Energy, we have multiple business units that actually connect to our community. So outreach is one of them. We also have our executive account managers that we partner with on a regular basis internally. And so that means that we also are partnering with major chambers, the Chaldean American Chamber, the Arab American Chamber, and other nonprofits that connect to those local businesses so that we can be a liaison between their customers who are also our customers, helping to resolve issues mutually that may be going on in their business themselves or if they're having some kind of issue with the DTE service.
I see. Do you work with the business themselves to improve their service, for example, DTE lighting? I know you change a lot of them and you're giving a huge discount and all that. Tell us more about this.
Yeah. So what we truly are trying to push right now are both home energy consultations as well as business energy consultations. So we have folks who we can send out to visit your home or your business location that will actually review how you're using energy in that place. And that's water, that's light, that's your gas service, identifying issues like holes in your windows or screens that need to be replaced, a faulty furnace, maybe inappropriate insulation.
And that's increased the use of the electricity or the gas.
Exactly. So maximizing those things helps people lower their bills and helps us all become more energy efficient.
I see. If somebody have, and especially the big businesses and their bill, it's big numbers. Do you work with them, for example? I know in the summertime probably they use less than the winter time.
Right.
Do you work with them in a plan that will work with their budget?
Absolutely. So if it's an individual customer, their access to a budget-wise billing plan is absolutely possible, and likewise for a business customer. We know that businesses have to do a little bit more because they have to make sure that their places of business are comfortable for all their customers, right? But we absolutely work with both of them so we can find an appropriate budget.
Budget for that all year around to be probably the same.
And so some folks like to pay the same thing all year, and some folks like to pay different things throughout the year. So either way, we've got plans for both.
I see. As you know, we broadcast all over the United States, but especially in the East Coast and now all over America. The weather is bad, and you're hitting with all kind of, honestly, disasters from hurricane to tornado to how you work with that, how you cope with that, especially in the last 2 years.
Absolutely. So there have been quite a few things happening, right? Like you said, tornadoes. We've just, in the States here, experienced 3 different hurricanes. We had a terrible windstorm here in the Metro Detroit area in March. And luckily, there is something called mutual aid, where utilities from all over the country will get together and really rally around each other when those types of serious situations happen. So, for instance, this just a few weeks ago with Hurricane Irma, we actually
Yes.
sent 600 people down to Florida,
Uh-huh.
Linemen, tree trimmers,
Okay.
and other emergency personnel
Is
that
that,
were a
do,
part of
do
us.
you operate there? Is
We
that
do
why?
not,
Or
no.
just because of that happened?
Just
Wow,
because,
wow,
yeah.
that's nice. That's very nice of you guys.
Absolutely, and
Yeah.
they did the same.
Okay.
Florida and Ohio did the same for us during our windstorm when we had such a large amount of customers that were out this past March. So we help each other. That's what this community is all about.
I see. When disaster things happen like this, I know the insurance agent, the insurance company, they increase the prices and all that. Working with a company like DTE, will they increase the price if there is a disaster, if they have to go and spend millions of dollars to fix all the posts, all the wires and all that?
Now, directly, our rates and what people pay are not directly related to anything like that. Our rates are determined in partnership with the MPSC, the Michigan Public Service Commission.
Okay.
And they're the ones who manage us and make sure that everything is appropriate. So we absolutely are working with our government partners on our rates and that structure.
I see. Let's talk about more about the prices and all that, because that's important to the consumer.
Yeah.
You know, what do you use now? Do you use more gas? Do you use coal? You use, tell me more.
Yeah.
And how you save money.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we are in the process of actually changing our generation mix.
Okay.
So we generate power today, really with all the things you were just talking about, right? A little bit of coal, we've got a little bit of wind, and natural gas as well. So I don't know if you've heard, but recently, really just in May, we announced that by 2050, we will be reducing our carbon by 80%.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
we're really changing the
Is that
mix.
not using the coal? Is that?
That's right. So
I
we're really
see.
going to be transitioning away from coal into more renewable energy sources. So probably at this point a combination of natural gas and wind, but where solar makes sense and other hydro where that makes sense down the line as those technologies continue to mature, they could be a part of the mix as well.
And there is a lot of discovery of gas all around the world, you
Yeah.
know. So does that help you with the price and all that?
It absolutely has, and DTE also, we have pipelines, right? So we manage those pipelines, and so that also helps us to get energy to our customers efficiently, and kind of adds to our entire generation of how we're making power for folks as well to be able to use.
I see. I know you deal with gas and you deal with electricity.
Yes.
So if it's a client have both of them,
Yeah.
are you sit in both? I know I'm at home, I have separate and all that, but I'm asking you, so for the
Sure.
viewer,
Yeah.
do you send one bill or two different bills?
They get one bill. So
Okay.
we have, like you said, you can be an electric customer, which tends to be most of our Metro Detroit population combo customers, or you can be a gas customer, which is mostly on the west side of the state.
Okay.
But if you're what we call a combo customer, those things come together.
Okay, can person get two of them from you?
If they wanted
If
two
they
different
request,
bills,
yeah.
you know what? That's a good question. I haven't ever asked our billing
Yeah.
department about that. I think we're also trying to save paper. So wherever we can do paperless statements and people can use our app or go online, we'd like to be able to have people use that as well.
I see.
Yeah.
For the city that have a problem, for example, putting a new subdivision and all that, and then you have to do your things too, to put the wires and all that.
Right.
How you do with that? You work with the cities? Do you work with, you know?
Yes, we absolutely do. We have great partnerships. So we have a whole team that's called our regional relations team, and so they're our eyes and ears with our government partners whenever we're going in to do any kind of major construction work. We also have an economic development team that might be involved in getting those types of things set up for new businesses that might be coming here to the area. And then we have, of course, a very large, what we call distribution operations team. They're our planners, so they're going to work with a construction agency and a customer to figure out, okay, what's the most efficient way and the best way that we can get these new projects energized.
I see. Donna, I know you are involved with all the ethnic minorities and all that, but you are involved with the community at large too.
Yeah.
I know there was, I attended a meeting for DTE, and they were discussing to build a park. And
Yes.
tell us more about your involvement with with the different cities, different communities and all that.
Well, we've got a lot of really exciting projects going on, and I'll go right to that one. So you're talking about Beacon Park.
Yes.
So downtown, in the southwest area of downtown,
Yes.
right near our campus, we have built a park that looks a lot like Campus Martius. And it will have a restaurant with a rooftop bar eventually, and we'll have over 600 programs happening for free right there in that park. So we encourage everybody to come out and hang out there and enjoy it.
Yeah, this is very nice. I mean, giving up to the community, you know. And I know you have DTE Energy, the concert and all that.
Yeah.
So you are honestly working with the community, not just as a business who give a product and receiving money from them, but no, you're giving a lot to the community.
Yeah, we believe in, you know, in being the best in the world, energy operated company, but also the best for the world. Right? I mean, I think as we grow and mature, what is really important is to leave a positive legacy and to be good not only for your business itself, but for the community at large.
I see. Do you operate in only Michigan or many states, or what's the state, just in general?
Sure. So in general, we have our utility business is primarily Michigan.
Okay.
However, not everybody realizes that we're more than just an energy utility company, I should say. We're really a diversified energy company. So we have some biomass work that we do. So that's really turning trash into energy. Some of the methane gas and things like that. That happens on a national basis. And we also have an energy trading company that trades energy as a commodity and things like that. So we operate not only here, but in maybe a couple of other states as well. Pennsylvania, we have a gas pipeline system as well that's being developed out there. So primarily here in Michigan, but certainly have a national presence here, Texas, California.
I see.
Yeah.
With your involvement, all that in the community, but inside the operation, do you reflect the community? Do you hire people from the community that you serve, if it's Middle Eastern community, African American, Latino, Asian?
Yeah, we actually, just in the past, I would say maybe 2 years, have had a really strong focus on that. Because just as I said, we want our outreach to reflect our diverse community. We would like our employee base to also reflect a diverse community as well. And not just be diverse, but to truly be inclusive. Because you can have a lot of diverse people in the room, but if they don't feel like they belong and don't feel like they're contributing to the larger goals of the company.
They have to be part of that operation.
That's right. They've got to feel it a little bit.
Yes.
So we have a brand new team, diversity and inclusion, that's really been working, like I said, over the past 2 years or so. So we have reestablished things like cultural energy groups that we're calling them. So they might be, a young professionals group that all gets together and kind of talks about issues that they're experiencing personally and maybe policy changes that would improve the company. We have an LGBT group. We have, of course, a Middle Eastern group, an Asian group.
Yeah.
We have an African American group, right? So they both operate separately to support and make a connection and a network for folks that might belong to those groups, but also all together so that our leadership team can hear from a diverse perspective of employees as they make decisions about how to run the company.
I see. How you see the future of DTE? What kind of project you have in the next 2 to 10 years?
Wow, that's a big question. I think that deserves our CEO's perspective more than mine.
Well, we're going to bring him here too. And we have.
Yeah, you have
some
brought
of
him in
them.
before.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
So the next 2 to 5 years, we are focusing, we've really got 2 different areas, I would say, as a part of our aspiration that we'll be focusing on. So one is, of course, running our company in the best way possible. That's truly being best operated, ensuring that our employees are engaged, that we're working in as safe a manner as possible, managing our finances appropriately so that we're a solid, financially responsible organization, things like that. And then we also have more of the community side and the best for the world side, I guess is how you could say it. So we'll be focusing, as I mentioned, on those environmental changes so that we're being responsible there. Being a leader in the political landscape wherever it makes sense for us to do that. Really focusing on education and employment, specifically here in Metro Detroit, and around even more specifically the skilled trades, and building up talent pipelines for that. And then just kind of working on physical transformation projects, going into the neighborhoods in our larger Metro Detroit community and doing things like cleanups or rehabbing some of our own facilities, like at our Kniff Service Center or Counters Creek plants, things like that, so that we can begin to leave that legacy.
I know, honestly, I've seen people from DTE everywhere, wherever I go, and every event and all that. But you are now talking, and if you are in Michigan, of course, we broadcast very largely in Michigan. What's your message to them? What do you like to have more involvement from the Middle Eastern community with DTE?
Well, I think that we, as you said, we have, I believe, built a strong partnership with the diversity, even the diversity within the Middle Eastern community. And I would like to see that continue. We have what I think is something very special. It's a perspective I think that we can get from our Middle Eastern counterparts that not all the other cultures are going to give us as well. We have, as you mentioned before, a large population of business owners that we want to connect with that are many.
And there's over 450,000 Middle Eastern community living in Michigan, especially in Tri-County area.
So we know, given just the demographics of our state, that's a really important cultural area that we need to be focused on.
Well, honestly, Donna, thank you on behalf of the community. We thank DTE for their involvement, for reaching out to the community and being and function of the community so they know what's the issue, and being close. And honestly, that will help build that relation. And you did, honestly, a great job. I look at a lot of companies, and I don't see that involvement. Honestly, and utilities companies and all that, or oil companies, and they don't have that involvement that you have. We thank you so much for that.
Thank you. It's our pleasure. It comes directly from the top. Our CEO believes in it.
Absolutely, and we want you to continue doing that.
We will.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Dear reviewer, that was my interview with Donna Williams. She is the manager of cultural outreach in DTE. And honestly, I said again, I say it again, that DTE is one of the very few companies that try to reach their client, try to reach their community. I see them in every event. I see them in a lot of function, and they have their own function inviting all the ethnic minority, and I attend so many of them. And honestly, I encourage other companies to do that, because build the bridges between companies and their clients will help a lot, And I thank again DTE for being a multicultural company. I see when I go and attend a function for DTE, I see honestly a melting pot of many ethnic minorities there. And we thank you so much for that.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much for watching, and good night.